Hi, I'm Dana, and it's time for this week's question, and it comes from Lynn. And she writes, my baby goes to sleep great at 8 p.m. Then around 2 p.m. he wakes up and I take him to bed with me and nurse him to sleep. The truth is that I love sleeping with him and I don't mind getting up, although I know I'm just perpetuating a problem. What should I do? Well, Lynn, I always say if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'm not here to say there's only one way and it's got to be this way. If it's not bothering you and you love it, then, why stop, really? There will come a time eventually where you'll decide, okay, I've had enough with getting up at 2 in the morning, and then you can move into training him to sleep through the night. But if it's something that you're comfortable with and it doesn't bother your husband and it's not disruptive to the entire family, then I say go ahead and stick with it. I mean, really, our children are only babies for a very short time, and so if you're enjoying it and the cuddles are nice and welcoming, then continue with it. I think from what you wrote, that when you say he goes to bed great at 8 o'clock, I'm going to assume that he's learning the skills for getting himself to sleep, meaning you're not breastfeeding him to sleep, you're not rocking him to sleep, that you have a nice routine that eases the transition into bedtime, and then he's going into the crib awake. And if that's not happening, then I would encourage you to definitely work on those skills so that at least you're laying the foundation for his sleep skills and he has some ability to do this himself and he's not relying on you, 100% of the time to nurse him to sleep. And you might find that he weans out of this all on his own. He might learn the skills he needs and just start sleeping later and later and then welcoming a little cuddle time in the morning. That would be the very best case scenario, and chances are pretty slim that would be the case, though, Lynn. More often than not, what is the habit remains the habit until you decide enough's enough, meaning, he's probably going to keep waking up at 2 o'clock expecting to come to bed with you and expecting to be nursed back to sleep. And the troubling spot in it all is that it might not stay at 2 o'clock either. It might, it's midnight one night and it's 11 the next, and you might find that it just, sort of backsteps its way into something really troublesome where he's barely sleeping at all in his own crib and wanting to come to bed with you for the rest of the night. And that might be when you decide, okay, I do have a problem here. I'm not enjoying this any longer. And that would be the perfect opportunity to make some changes. So when you're ready to make the changes, again, it all starts at bedtime. He's got to be going to sleep on his own at bedtime, and then if he continues to wake up at 2 looking to come to bed with you, basically you'd either go and do the stay in the room method with him, where you'd spend 3 nights right by the crib, 3 nights in the middle of the room, 3 nights by the door, and then you're out. Or you could just do a leave and check style where you come in, reassure him, tell him it's sleepy time, leave, come back until he's back to sleep without coming to bed with you and without nursing. And it'll be a rough few nights for sure, because he's really used to this and he's probably wondering why you're not doing it anymore. But because he has the skills at bedtime and the foundation's already there, it won't take that long for him to transfer those skills over to the rest of the night. So, it'll be a couple of nights, but in the big picture of life, it'll be relatively easy. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and do that. So I thank you for your question. I think it's very honest of you to just admit that this is something you really like, and for others out there who are enjoying the way things are going and it's not bothering anyone else in the family, then I say go for it, and you'll know when you're ready, and when it's no longer fun or enjoyable anymore, you'll know, and you'll be ready to make the changes. Okay, so thanks a lot, Lynn. Sleep well.